Welcome, welcome, ladies. I'm so excited to be here today, and I'm so excited that you're here too. I'm going to give everyone just a second to jump on live, and then we will get right into today's content, which is all about overcoming perfectionism. So it's 6 tips to stop being a perfectionist. And the reason why you want to stop being a perfectionist is so that you can create more income and more impact. So ultimately, it's not just that you don't want this habit of being perfectionist anymore. It's ultimately because you want that habit to create more income and impact. Okay, so I'm going to explain why perfectionism isn't serving you. So if you haven't already joined my group, my Facebook group, Confident Courageous Biz-Building Mamas, come hop over there. I do special trainings in there and also do PDFs and everything. So there's some free resources for you to build your business there. So if we haven't met already, I'm Kimberly Latona. I'm a life and business coach for busy mamas. I'm also an NLP practitioner with a master's in business. And I teach women how to create a part-time business with full-time income while living a life that they love. So I created this training on perfectionism and how to stop being a perfectionist because I'm actually a recovering perfectionist myself. And I actually used to be really proud of the fact that I was a perfectionist. I used to think that it was a really great trait and that it was really getting me far in life because everything that I was doing was really great. And I was, committed to excellence. And then I realized that it really wasn't serving me because it was holding me back from actually doing things that felt the scariest. It was holding me back from creating something and putting it out into the world without the fear of it having to be perfect. Does that make sense? So really, ultimately, I realized that it wasn't serving me to be a perfectionist, and that I was able to make more money and have more impact and really put myself out there more in the world and feel more confident and really have a more fulfilling career and life without being a perfectionist. So that's why I created this training. So today I'm going to share with you 6 tips to let go of perfectionism. If you're watching live, drop a red heart so I can say hi. In the comments so that I know you're here. I'll say hi. And if you have anything that comes up during this live, please let me know. Type it in the comments. If there's anything that you feel like could be more specified to your situation, please let me know so I can be really as much of service as I can to you today. So if you're watching the replay later, also drop a purple heart in the comments and I will come back and say hi and again, answer any questions. So let's get started. Again, I'm a recovering perfectionist, and I want to say that I still have to remind myself daily that done is better than perfect. Okay, I still have those tendencies like, oh, maybe I should just keep tweaking this a little bit more. Maybe the colors aren't right, or maybe like this could be prettier, right? But ultimately, like if I continue to do that, if I continue to be like, oh, I need this to be prettier before I put it out in the world, it's not getting into your hands and it's not serving you, right? If I'm creating something, like if I'm creating a new freebie, I have a couple new ones time management tips and also on vision planning, like getting really clear on your big vision for your life and your business. If I was sitting around perfecting the colors all day and never putting it out there because I thought maybe it could be better or better, still want it to be better, it would never get into your hands and it would never help you, right? So I want you to start thinking about how that's not serving you. Just being stuck in this making sure everything is perfect mindset is not helping you. So it's actually, I really believe that it's killing your dreams. So let me tell you a little bit about the pros and cons of perfectionism, and then I'll share with you why I think the cons outweigh the pros. So the pros are you love quality work, right? You always do your best. You pride yourself in your projects, work or personal. You're awesome at a lot of things. Those are all great things. The cons, though, you probably procrastinate. Okay, you're probably constantly worried about you or the things that you create being good enough. You might be afraid of criticism if you don't think it's good enough. Maybe you start a lot of projects, but you have a hard time finishing or completing things, or you do actually finish it, but the world never finds out. Maybe you question yourself and your decisions. Maybe you wait until better circumstances for things. So for example, like you want to wait until you're skinnier, or you're having a better hair day, or your kids are at a certain stage of life, or you have more money, and therefore you never actually get started. You never actually move forward. Maybe you feel like nothing is ever done. There's always something to add or fix or tweak. Like I was just saying, like on a freebie that I was just recently creating, I was like, oh, I could probably make this prettier. And then I was like, no, I'm not going to make it prettier. I'm going to get it out there because I know that what I've created will help someone, right? And it doesn't matter if the Canva colors are perfect, right? Okay, so maybe you also feel like you constantly feel like there's so much to do and never enough time. Okay, that's another symptom. That's another con of perfectionism. So if you're perfectionist or recovering perfectionist like myself, you probably relate to some of those things on the pros and cons. But the bad news is the cons outweigh the pros by a long shot. And I believe that perfectionism is not serving you because it's slowing you down from taking action that actually matters. Okay, maybe you're doing a lot of things, you're taking a lot of action, but you're not doing the things that actually matter. Like I explained at the very beginning of this, where I felt like I was doing a lot of things and I was, perfecting a lot of things, but I wasn't actually taking action on the things that I needed in order to grow my business and make the income and impact that I really wanted to make, because I was afraid of doing those things wrong. Okay, I was afraid of not doing those things perfectly. Okay, so this is because the reason why you don't move forward when you're a perfectionist is because you're never satisfied with your progress, and you always want it to be perfect, but unfortunately, perfect is unattainable and entirely subjective. So you're ultimately setting yourself up for failure. Okay, so this is probably also affecting your confidence. And the good news is that you get to choose to let go of perfectionism. And in doing so, you're going to be happier. You're going to make faster, more meaningful progress towards your goals. You're going to make more money. You're going to make more impact. Okay. So let's talk about the 6 steps to let go of, the 6 tips to let go of perfectionism. The first one that I want to talk about, and those of you who've been here for a while, those of you who know me know that I always bring in mindset. But the first one I want to talk about is for you to check your thoughts and your beliefs about yourself. Okay, I want you to check to see if you have any limiting beliefs that are making you feel like you need to be perfect. Okay, so for example, what thoughts are you having that are making you feel like you need to be perfect or that you need to create things that are perfect? Okay, are there any limiting beliefs that are hiding deep down that aren't serving you? So for example, maybe you've held on to the story of I'm not good enough, or I'm not smart enough, or I'm not pretty enough, right? Your whole life. So you're constantly trying to prove to yourself and others that you are good enough. And this comes through as you trying to be perfect all the time. And it comes through as you actually not doing things that you feel like you'll fail at, or that you feel like you won't be perfect at, or that you feel like you might make a fool of yourself, right? But we all start out as beginners. So I really want you to dig deep and look and see what are the thoughts that you're thinking that are creating this need for you to feel like you need to be perfect. Okay, so that's the first one. Again, I want you to check your limiting beliefs, check your thoughts, and check in with those and see, are there stories that you're holding on to, like I'm not good enough, that are driving you to want to be perfect, that are driving you to want to always be better, and that is driving you to like feel like you are never good enough. Okay, so that's number one. The second one that I want you that I want to help you with is to understand that perfectionism is a choice and it's not serving you. Okay, so again, I think I told you this at the beginning. Like I used to think that being a perfectionist was like this great thing. And I was like, I am dedicated to excellence and all of the things that I create are really beautiful and blah, blah, blah. And so unfortunately, hi, Jennifer. Hello, watching from Montana. I struggle with this. So thanks for these tips. Great. So glad to have you here. So again, I want you to understand that this is a choice, right? And you get to choose. And I didn't realize this before, that I was choosing perfectionism and that it wasn't serving me. But now that you can see, like, as I explain the pros and cons, you can see how the cons totally outweigh the pros. Okay, so the first step is really just admitting that you're using this perfectionism as an excuse to not make hard decisions, to not get started on your big goals, to not take action because you're afraid to make a mistake, or you're afraid to make the wrong decision or choose the wrong path. Okay, once you take responsibility over this choice, you can make changes in your life and start letting go of perfectionism, and it will lead to you living a happier, more fulfilling, more abundant life. Okay, so again, the second one here is to understand that this is a choice and you get to choose that done is better than perfect. or choose progress over perfection, right? This is a really great thing, especially for moms, because we don't want to teach our children that they have to be perfect, right? Think about your kids. If you have kids, think about your kids. Like, do you think that they should be perfect or that they have to do everything perfectly? No, of course not, right? And we don't want to teach them that because it's an unattainable thing, right? And we want to create confidence in them. So do the same thing for yourself. Decide that it's a choice and it's not serving you. Okay, the third thing I want to talk about is deciding on your priorities and letting some things be good enough. Okay, so I want to explain this a little bit more. I like to think of this as like your life is like college, and all of your activities and responsibilities and priorities are classes that are graded. Okay, hear me out for a second. So I like to think of like all of the responsibilities that I have, cleaning the house and my health and my wellness and keeping things organized and time with my husband and time with my kids. Those are all like classes, right? And some of the things are more important classes. So like I studied architecture for 2 years. Okay, and I decided that it wasn't for me. So I ended up switching to business and then getting my master's in business. But for the first 2 years that I was studying architecture, there were some things that were like legitimately important, right? Like structural engineering was a class. And that was one of those things where it was like, I need to be good at this because if I'm going to be an architect, I don't want people's buildings to fall down on them, right? But maybe something like art history was not as important. Does that make sense? Because it's not gonna kill anyone. It's not gonna affect anyone's life if I don't know all of the, monuments in the world, right? So what I want you to do is I want you to prioritize your classes. Like what things on your list are the most important to you, and what things need to be done, but they're not critical to your happiness or your sanity or your overall well-being or your income. Does that make sense? So obviously, I'm going to give you a couple examples. So for example, obviously you're not going to just never clean your house. Okay. Obviously you're not going to never clean your house or do laundry, but maybe you don't need to obsess about how often it's done or how Marie Kondo your folding job is, right? Or maybe you need to hire someone so that you can take that off your priority list entirely. So what I'm saying is I want you to go through and rate your classes, right? And based on how important they are to you in relation to everything else that you need or want to do, okay? Each thing can either have a pass or fail option. I know some of us in college had this pass or fail option for like a couple classes where it's like, you get to decide like, if you want to just say it's pass or fail. So it's like, you just had to get, I think like a C, probably a C, right? Not a D. And as long as you got a C, it just showed up as pass, like you pass. Okay. So that's how I feel about cleaning my house, right? I don't care if I get an A+ in cleaning my house. I have 2 toddlers, so it's impossible anyways, but that's not something that's such a priority to me that I need to spend every minute of my day, like cleaning everything meticulously. Does that make sense? But on the other hand, my business to me is really important. And so for me, that's a graded class and I want to get an A+ in it, right? Also my relationship with my husband and my relationship with my kids. Those, if we were going to say that they're classes, I also want to get an A in both of those subjects. Okay. So do you see how in relation to some other things like cleaning or like laundry or like, I would say if I'm really honest with myself, I would say that exercise is probably a B. Like it's not a pass or fail, but it's definitely not an A for me because I care more about my business, my relationships than I do about my exercise routine. Does that make sense? So I really want you to just look at what are your priorities and what are the things that are the most important to you that you want to like say is a pass or fail. For me, cleaning is a pass or fail. It's like, it's either clean enough or it's not clean enough. Like it either needs to be cleaned or it's fine, right? My relationship with my husband, I don't want it to be like a pass or fail. Like if I have a C in my relationship with my husband, like things are not going well. And so I care a lot about that relationship. Okay, again, the same thing with my business. I care a lot about my business and my income and my impact and the way that I show up in my business. And so for me, that's a graded assignment. Like that's not a pass or fail. I don't want to get a C in my business. Okay. So go through and grade all of your priorities, and for the graded tasks, like for the things that like aren't just pass or fail, decide on how important the outcome is. Okay, does it need to be an A+, or would you be happier and less stressed out if you got to be in that category? Like I said, like what are all the things that are important to you? Exercise and health and healthy eating and meal prep and time with your kids and time and self-care and hobbies and all the things, and then rate them. Okay. So that's number 3. Number 4, I want you to commit to one small action to move you towards your goal every single day. Okay, so this helps you break the habit of being a perfectionist because you have to take action, right? Even if it's one tiny little thing, it's going to help you move forward, and it's going to help you overcome being a perfectionist because you have to do the thing and you just keep moving forward, right? So it's like you don't spend 12 hours on creating something and then never release it to the world, right? You don't spend 10 hours writing a Facebook post and then never post it, or so I want you to, so taking action consistently is going to build your confidence, and that's going to exponentially increase your success also. But again, the important thing is taking imperfect action is the best way to break your perfectionist ways and actually make progress on your goals. Okay, so I want you to commit to taking one small action, even if it's only 15 minutes. Okay, even if it's only 15 minutes, I want you to take one small action towards moving towards your goals every single day. Okay, again, this is going to break the habit of your perfectionism because you're going to keep taking action. Action is the antidote to perfectionism. Okay, number 5. The 5th one here is celebrate. I want you to celebrate the small actions and the tiny wins that deserve celebration. Okay, if you've created something and you decided like it didn't have to be perfect, and you are going to put it out into the world and you're going to let go of it, then that needs to be celebrated. I want you to celebrate. I want you to train your brain to do more and worry less. And that's what happens when you celebrate little successes. Okay. So I want you to really focus on, yay, I worked on my business for an hour today, and here's what I accomplished. And I did the things that actually mattered. Right? I wasn't just like scrolling on Instagram, pretending like I was working, or procrastinating. Like I use that one a lot with my clients. Like, it would be like they worked on their business for 3 hours, and then I'll be like, okay, what did you do? And they're like, well, I researched Kajabi because I think I want to switch from Entrepreneur to Kajabi, and my email system is MailChimp, but I think I should move that to Kajabi also. So I spent 3 hours research. No, that's what I call procrastinating. Okay. So when I say take a small action every day, I want you to actually take an action that's going to move the needle in your business. It's going to do something for you that's going to create income and impact. Okay, again, going back to what I said at the beginning of this, if you're taking perfection, like part of overcoming perfectionism is taking action on the things that you are most afraid to take action on. Right? They're the things that you don't really want to do because those are the things that you're afraid of looking silly doing, or those are the things that you're afraid of like not being good at, right? Like Instagram Reels or whatever it is. Those are the things that you need to do in order to overcome the perfectionism, because those are the things that you are really afraid of showing up not perfect as doing. Okay. So number 6, that was number 5, celebrate the small actions and your tiny wins every day. Okay. Number 6, the last one here is get accountability and support. Okay. I can't stress this enough. When you're building a business, it's so helpful to have support and accountability from a business partner or a mastermind partner or a business coach or somebody or a mentor, somebody that can support you and help you say, okay, this is good enough. Put it out into the world so that you can start making money. Okay. Or so that you can start making more money. That is so important to have the accountability and the support from somebody who has been where you are and somebody who wants to help you grow and believes 100% in your vision. Okay. So let's review these 6 tips for letting go of perfectionism. Number 1, check your thoughts and your limiting beliefs. Okay. If you have some limiting beliefs floating around in there, like I'm not good enough, those are going to be contributing to your perfectionism. It's going to it's going to be this deep-rooted belief that's saying like, no, it has to be better. It has to be better. Okay. So check on that and bring your limiting beliefs into check and make sure that your thoughts are aligned with your goals and not aligned with what you don't want. Okay. Number 2, understand that perfectionism is a choice and it's not serving you. So make the decision that done is better than perfect, or progress over perfection, and use that as a mantra. Okay. Number 3, decide what things in your life are a pass fail and which things you want to grade. Okay. So essentially just decide on your priorities and then use your time to focus on those priorities, right? Don't just like let it go and not think about how you're spending your time. I want you to really just decide on your priorities and then decide like, okay, some of these things are a pass fail. The cleaning of the house is a pass or fail, okay, for me. So you decide which ones are important to you and focus on the things that are more important to you. Okay, number 4, commit to doing one small action that actually moves the needle in your business every single day. Okay, not just, again, scrolling or procrastinating or those things. I want you to commit to doing one small action, even if it only takes you 15 minutes every single day. Again, this is building your muscles. This is building your non-perfectionism muscles so that you continue to make progress on your goals every single day. Number 5, celebrate the small wins. And number 6, get support and accountability. Okay, it's so important to just be surrounded by people who are uplifting you and who are helping you and who can answer questions when you need support and when you need help with your business. Okay, so let's talk about your action items. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to decide on a new mantra that supports your goal of letting go of this perfectionism. Okay, so for example, I really like done is better than perfect. I also like progress over perfection. So anything that resonates with you, write that down, put it on a sticky note, put it in front of your, put it in front of you so that it's constantly reminding you that you're good enough. You don't have to be perfect. There's no such thing as perfect. And you are exactly how you should be. You are exactly who you need to be. You are exactly perfect as you are, okay, without trying to be perfect. Okay, the second thing I want you to do for your action items is I want you to make a list of your priorities and decide which things are pass or fail and which things are graded. Okay, and then when you're going through your day, remind yourself of your top priorities or your graded assignments and make sure that you're focusing on those instead of insisting on everything that needs to be perfect, right? We all have 24 hours in a day. Like you can do anything, but you can't do everything, at least not to the standard of a perfectionist. Okay. The next thing that I want you to do is I want you to commit to taking action on your priority goals every single day, even if it's just a tiny task that takes you 15 minutes. Okay. Again, you're building that muscle of like taking action and actually moving forward and not thinking about how it needs to be better and it's not good enough. Okay. And then the last thing, celebrate your wins, okay? Even the tiny ones, they deserve to be celebrated and it will keep you motivated to keep taking action and it will reinforce these these new positive behaviors that you've adopted, okay? So I hope that you found this training valuable. I'm here every week, so I would love to hear your biggest takeaway in the comments. And like I said at the beginning, if you want more trainings like this, plus bonus resources and lots of resources in order to help you start and grow your business, and a community of like-minded women, I would love for you to join my Facebook group, Confident and Courageous Biz-Building Mamas. Also, if we aren't connected on Instagram already, I just started doing Reels, which are so entertaining. So come join me on Instagram. I'm Kimberly Latona on Instagram. So come find me on Instagram and we can be friends there. And you'll see my new outside of my comfort zone IG Reels. Okay, well, the last thing I want to say is for those of you who are ready to take the next step, I have blocked out some time in my calendar for this week and next week for 3 free time mastery strategy calls. So this is for women who are ready to create a part-time business with full-time income while living a life that they love. So we'll get clear on exactly how much time you have in your day to grow your business and uncover exactly what's been stopping you or slowing you down from having the life and business that you desire. You'll walk away with complete clarity on how to get the business that you want in the time that you have. Okay, that's my passion. That's my specialty. That's my passion. This is for women who are ready to show up for themselves and ready to commit to investing the time and energy and money into themselves in order to achieve their big goals and in order to really create this business that they love that doesn't consume all their time. Okay. If any of you who are watching are busy moms, like I said, I have 2 babies under 3. And so I don't want to spend all my time working on my business. Okay. So I've created this business that is a part-time business that brings in full-time income. And I want to help you do the same. So if you're ready to get clear on what's been holding you back and create this plan to move forward with confidence and clarity, I would love to hop on a free time mastery strategy call with you. So I'm going to drop the link in my calendar, drop the link to my calendar in the comments. And so you can book a free call this week or next. And if you don't have a time on my calendar that works for you, then please just let me know, reach out to me, and we will find a time that works for both of us. Okay. Have an amazing rest of the week. I will see you ladies next week, same time, same place here in this group, or hopefully I'll see you over in my group, Confident and Courageous Biz-Building Mamas. Okay. Have an amazing week, and I will see you soon.